From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Eagles, Tigers, and Devils.
Oh my!
Oh my is right. ACC play is in full swing, and this weekend is even more ludicrous.
That's right, Cam. The Tar Heels need to follow that yellow brick road to victory. Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Madeline Haichu.
And I'm Cameron Ely.
On Wednesday, the Tar Heel volleyball team looked to continue the in-state win streak with a home match against rival Duke. The Heels and Blue Devils battled in the first set with momentum swinging back and forth, but the Heels pulled ahead late to take the win. Haley Pierce led the way with 7 kills in the opener. The women wrapped up a dominant second set with another explosive kill by Pierce, finishing out at 25-15. In the third and final set, Chelsea Thorpe's consistency and Zoe Barrett's sharp setting kept the Heels in control. North Carolina closed out the final set 25-16 for a clean sweep. What a thrilling win against Duke, but the rivalry isn't finished just yet. Merrily 2 breaks down Carolina Volleyball's victory and previews the upcoming match against the Blue Devils.
Maddie, Carolina Volleyball is on a roll. They're 3-0 in the ACC and are sitting at 5-0 against North Carolina teams. Let's recap the most memorable moments from in-state play so far. First, I want to talk about our recent matchup against NC State. Lauren Schroeder led the defense's way with 6 blocks. Let's take a look. All about being a blocker is you have to predict where the ball is going to go on the other side. They noticed that the left outside was getting the ball. They jump up. Let's look at the form. Lauren Schroeder and Chelsea Thorpe really focus on extending their arms up, dropping their thumb, and dropping their pinky to intercept the ball successfully. That block, imagine 5 more of those. She was on fire and really led the way for a clean win against NC State. And speaking of clean wins, UNC took on Duke Wednesday and beat them dominantly. Let's start off. Zoe sets a 6 over to Haley. Based upon her body positioning, it looked like she's going to go cross court, but she turns her shoulders in the air and snaps her wrist, sending the ball down the line for a strategic play that the libero just cannot intercept. And we beat Duke in such a dominant fashion, and it was incredibly impressive. But the best part, this rivalry isn't done yet. The Heels will face the Blue Devils again tomorrow, this time in Durham. Fans shouldn't be too concerned, though. Carolina doubled Duke's numbers in both serving and aces and kept their hitting percentage in the .300s. The only hiccup might be losing the home court advantage, which has statistically favored the Heels this season. Also, our success is thanks to Carolina's 2 new transfers, setter Emily Bobbitt and hitter Lainey Smith. Our very own Zoe Barrett talked to them about the transition to Carolina.
Before they were Tar Heels, Emily Bobbitt and Lainey Smith Durham were teammates at Triangle Volleyball Club. But when it came time for college, the North Carolina natives packed their bags and headed separate ways. Bobbitt to Iowa State and Smith to University of Illinois. Back to UNC.
My main reasons for coming back to UNC was to be closer to home. After a year away, I kind of felt like I needed more of a support system, so coming back here and being closer to home was my main goal.
Both returned after their first fall semester, and since joining Carolina in the spring, they've already made their mark, with Bobbitt running the offense as a setter and Smith scoring points on the right side in their 6-2 offense.
It's just a really surreal feeling, and it just feels really good to play for a school that I love so much with the girls I love so much. Definitely makes you appreciate your family when you're gone for so long, so I really do like the fact that I can see them.
Head coach Mike Shaw is glad to have them as a part of the Carolina family and says that their impact reaches well beyond the box score.
They play key roles in the fact that it balances out our offense. Both bring competitiveness and also familiarity with Carolina. Both of them having grown up in the area. I think it's always special when kids have the opportunity to come back home.
Reunited teammates who once chased their dreams far away from home, Bobbitt and Smith are now back where it all began, helping lead the ranked UNC volleyball into its next chapter. I'm Zoe Barrett reporting.
Cameron, the volleyball team is back bigger and better, and a large part of that is because of these transfers.
Yeah, Maddie, and I hope you got your broom ready because I'm sensing another Carolina sweep coming this weekend. And on to some more women's sports. The Tar Heel women's soccer team hosted Boston College Thursday night in Chapel Hill, trying to end a 2-match losing streak. North Carolina controlled the match early, firing off 19 shots compared to Boston College's 8. Olivia Thomas finished off a free kick to put the Heels on the board. Kate Fossey took a feed from Hope Munson and fired a shot into the net to give UNC the lead. 3 minutes later, Fossey struck again, this time heading home across from Thomas to seal a 3-1 win over Boston College.
Like collectively as a team, we really stepped up, and I think from the last few games we've just found a way to work together, and I think that just every single player comes together, and I think just collectively everyone did good, so I could.
Let's toss it over to matchups with Malik to hear more about last night's win. Molly.
Thanks, Cameron. Legs and heads are the rhyme and reason for last night's win. Let's take a look at 3 quality goals from 2 quality veterans, and we're going to kick it off with Olivia Thomas. So she's been chosen for the free kick, and it's a clear reason why. The team can depend on her, and that's a really intentional decision. But let's take a look at this play once more. We see her going in with her right leg, of course, but did you see how she was able to turn her entire body? I mean, this is all limbs at play here. Now we're going to kick it over to one of her teammates, Kate Fossey, to take a look at this next goal. So we're going to want to pay attention. Fossey's going to end up right over here, and we're going to see what she does. So give her just a second here, and then we're going to pause it right here because watch how quickly she's able to react. She's got great ball control, so pay attention to this here. She gets the ball, and she sends it flying. What happened there is she's able to control the ball, she was able to get one touch, and she was able to continue using her right foot to send that goal flying. Now she's going to do it one more time, but with a different limb this go. Alrighty, take a look here. We're going to see some great chemistry from her teammate, Olivia Thomas, with Kate Fossey here, so pay attention. We've got Olivia Thomas out to Fossey, who is ready for the header. Pretty epic. I mean, that is quite impressive. That communication that they have, beautiful assist. Ultimately, she was able to get the job done, and after 2 losses, this is exactly what the Tar Heels needed.
Let's see if the Tar Heels can keep up the momentum when they take on Pitt this Sunday.
Maddie, I know you and I were in the studio last night watching the final minutes of that game, and I'm really glad the Tar Heels were able to lock in and get that win.
Yes, I agree. Now let's kick it off to the men's side. The men's soccer team will face off against Louisville tonight in an ACC road matchup. After coming off a 4-game draw streak in conference play, UNC will look to put up a win and boost their confidence in the remaining ACC matchups. Louisville will need to keep watch on UNC's Nacho Abial, who currently leads the team in all scoring and assisting categories. The Heels will aim to capitalize off the Cardinals' recent nail-biting loss at Duke. For anyone going to the game, you might need to bring a sweater as it's going to be about 60 to 70 degrees.
Yeah, the temperature did drop a little bit this morning, which means we're getting ready for fall, but let's pass it over to our meteorologist, Liam, for more on the forecast.
Yeah, everyone, it's looking like a really nice night tonight, especially as earlier today. We'll see some temperatures around 72 degrees, a little bit cooler than we have seen in the past week or so, and in the next few days. It's around 66 around looking at our 6 p.m. time. And as we go into the game tonight, our forecast is looking around for our men's. This slide is wrong, but it's our men's game for our next slide. Please, thank you. 65 degrees for our kickoff, or on, again, men's soccer tonight, not women's. That's a typo on that. Around kickoff time, around 65 degrees, looking like clear conditions. But as the night goes on, you might want to bring a little bit of a sweater or a coat, because it'll be getting down into our mid-50s, a little bit chilly, especially as the moon comes out later tonight. And this is because, as we look at our next slide, we'll look at this surface map. Our high-pressure system is sitting over North Carolina, keeping things dry and a little bit more comfortable and consistent temperatures, keeping away this low-pressure system and all that tropical moisture away from us over the next few days and into next week. Again, looking at our next slide, our game day forecast, if you're looking to go to the game around 8 a.m., it's looking a a little bit chilly as those overnight temperatures take a little bit time to warm up. Around 10 a.m., 63 degrees if you're looking to tailgate. Maybe bring a little bit of a sweater, but around kickoff time against Clemson, you are looking at around 70 degrees. A really nice day for football to reach for our high around 75 degrees around halftime into the third quarter, excuse me. And as we go on the next slide, we'll look at our 5-day forecast. You'll see around Friday, it'll be looking a little bit cooler. Into Saturday, taking a little bit of time, technical difficulties with the slides, but our 5-day forecast, looking into next week, it'll be looking really comfortable.
I'm excited for those Carolina blue skies as UNC football is set to host Clemson in Chapel Hill this weekend with both teams coming off a bye week. The Tigers, who started the season ranked 4th in the AP poll, have gone off to a 1-3 start and are now unranked. Historically, Clemson has gotten the better of the Heels, winning 40 out of 60 total matchups. But this is also the first time the Tigers have started off 1-3 since 2004. The Tar Heels are 14-point underdogs, but all eyes will be on Kenan Stadium tomorrow to see if they can upset the struggling ACC powerhouse. Let's pass it over to Alden's All-Stars for more on what to expect.
Thanks, Maddie. Listen, there's a reason why we're playing at noon. Expectations for both these teams were super high to start the year, and now I don't even know if they're expectations. It's out the window. Neither team is very good anymore. Let's look at the stats here. You can tell it's pretty comparable, about 20 points a game, 17 to 19 penalties a game for both teams. The one stat to look at, though, is passing yards, and it comes right here. They have 400 yards more than us in the air. It's because of the fact Lopez has not been great. He gets flustered anytime they penetrate the line of scrimmage. And so a big question is, who is going to be starting tomorrow? And luckily, I got our athlete here, Nick C, to tell us who he thinks. What do you think, Nick?
I like Max Johnson. We've been hyping up Gio Lopez all season, and he hasn't been living up to expectations. We saw him go down against UCF, and Max Johnson been getting starts in practice ever since then. I like Johnson as a packet passer over Gio Lopez.
That's fair, but listen, I mean, I read somewhere that we paid Lopez $4 million to come here. I mean, I think he should keep starting because of that. Like,
that's a valid point, but if you look at Belichick's success, just think about when he had Brady in comparison to Cam Newton.
That's fair. You got me there. I mean, back home, Charlotte, Cam Newton, Superman celebration. But let's toss it over to my pick. I think Clemson is going to win big. I think they cover the 14-point spread that Maddie talked about just a few minutes ago. I think they're going to get out early, and it's going to be a really rough game for the Tar Heels.
I don't know. You know, you're about 0-2 on hot takes so far this year, and Clemson hasn't been really getting out fast. That's why they're 1-3 to start off the year. So if we get out on them early, I think we might mess up your parlay.
Fair point. But I think one person we haven't talked enough about is Cade Klubnik. Cade Klubnik is their starting quarterback, and he's really good. He's got some passes, some read options. Should we walk through?
Hey, we see what he does in the air. You know, 996 in the air so far, but I want to talk about what we can do on the ground.
Okay, so set this up. What are we doing here? What formation? What play is this?
So in a gun formation, run the read option, run it back beside my hip, snaps the ball, faces to the running back, goes out with the read option, quarterback keeps it.
And what are you reading there? What are they looking at on the defense?
So what K's going to look out for, the DN. We saw what happened UCF game, the DN bit. They had a walk-in touchdown. Hopefully, we fixed that over the bye weekend, so we can snap this 15-year streak against Clemson.
Man, yeah. 15 years. That's brutal. Okay, we're going to pass it back to you, Maddie, at the desk, and hope UNC can get a win.
Well, don't fret, because when football season starts to look down, Carolina fans can always look to basketball. The UNC men's basketball team is back in action tomorrow, debuting in the annual blue-white scrimmage at the Dean Dome. Senior guard Seth Trimble returns for his final season, looking to lock in his legacy in Carolina blue. Freshman forward Caleb Wilson arrives as a top recruit with big upside, though he may need time to adjust to the college level. After a revolving door at center last year, 7-foot Henry Vassar brings size and stability in the paint, hoping to be a rebound machine. In transfer, Jonathan Powell brings a sharp shooting touch and leadership potential at forward with practice and consistency. With so many new faces on the roster, Saturday's scrimmage offers the first real glimpse of what the 2025-26 Tar Heels might become. Carolina men's golf finished as co-champions at the Hogan Invitational in Fort Worth, tying with Texas, Vanderbilt, and Virginia. Freshman Carson Bernoulli led the way with a final 69 to help secure the title.
And after a devastating loss followed by a too-close-for-comfort win last weekend, Carolina field hockey looks to secure a win against Old Dominion on Sunday. The Tar Heels took last year's matchup 3-1, but this season the Monarchs feature a new offensive weapon, redshirt freshman Josie Painter, who already has 6 goals. Carolina comes in ranked and hot, rallying past Boston College with 2 goals in the final 10 minutes. Both offenses are clicking, and Sunday's game will be a battle. And it's October, and that means baseball. While the big leaguers are looking toward the Fall Classic, the UNC baseball team is just getting started, hosting their first fall exhibition game this afternoon. Even with National Pitcher of the Year Jake Knapp drafted, Carolina's strength lies in their crop of returning arms. 2 of the Tar Heels' best relievers from last year, the dynamic duo of Ryan Lynch and Walker McDuffie, are back and versatile, able to shine in both starting and bullpen roles. Jason DeCarroll will use his 4 pitches to build on his performance from last season and solidify the weekend rotation.
The pitching might be much the same, but this year's lineup will be full of new faces. To preview some of the positions players in today's scrimmage, Sports Extra's very own Grace Nugent comes to us live from Boshamer Stadium.
In just a few hours, these gates are going to open and fans, students, and scouts are going to pour in for UNC baseball's first exhibition game of the fall. Now, the faces on the mound are going to be similar, but it's the ones at the plate that are going to look a little bit different. There are only 2 returning starters from last year's team that hosted Arizona for a super regional, Gavin Gallagher and Carter French. The rest of the lineup today is going to be made up of transfers and younger guys. Headlining those transfers are former Blue Devil Macon Winslow, who will be suiting up in Carolina blue for the first time behind the plate. Jake Schaffner from North Dakota State is presumably going to play an infield position, and then Owen Hull from George Mason, who has both speed and power, can play all over the diamond. This 12-inning scrimmage will give UNC fans a glimpse into what Scott Forbes and the staff is doing with this team and what they plan to do moving on towards the spring. But don't worry, this is not the only fall thing on deck. The Fall Intra-Squad World Series is next week, and then UNC baseball will round it out playing the Wolfpack at the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. It is a beautiful day here on Carolina campus. There are alumni walking around, both baseball and others. I was fortunate to sit down with a UNC alumni who's been in the sports journalism world for over 30 years. Here's what he had to say.
Sorry about those technical difficulties there, but before we get into an exciting weekend, let's highlight our favorite play from Play of the Week. Freshman Lauren Moutsum quickly gets on the ball in the box, hammering it right over the goalie's reach and showcasing her powerful shot. Well, that sure was a show-stopping play, don't you agree, Maddie?
100%. But speaking of show-stopping, Taylor Swift released her 12th album, The Life of a Showgirl, today.
Yeah, well, while you're listening to Taylor, I'll be front row at the Ludacris concert in Chapel Thrill this Saturday before football kicks off. That does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'll be back on Monday with all of the highlights from another exciting weekend in Carolina athletics.